12 terabytes and 667 gigabytes, for God's sake. Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to install extra 12 terabytes in my PS5. And what I'm trying to do here is just to expand some storage because I really hate erasing video games from my console. I prefer to keep them all in place because erasing, reinstalling them, yeah, it's a matter of an hour, but I mean, I don't want to lose that hour when I really need to check something because video games is part of my job anyway. So I have PlayStation 5. I got an SSD on Amazon for 4 terabytes and I have an external SSD for 8 terabytes, and I'll try to combine everything and I will have a 12.5 terabyte PlayStation 5. Yeah. And with the latest firmware, you can install internal SSDs that can store and launch your PS5 games, which wasn't available before, making users limited to 667 gigabytes of an internal storage. The requirements for the SSDs that are available on the Sony's website look like this. SSDs should be generation 4 M2 NVMe with a reading speed at 5500 MB per second or more. If you ask will it work with slower SSDs, yes, it should, but there is no guarantee that it'll be still compatible after another firmware update. So knowing that, I went shopping. Amazon provides some options, but in regards to the tech availability and delays, because of the worldwide chip shortage, the options are pretty limited, and I went down with a Sabrent SSD, which to be honest is a great fast SSD with a reading speed at 7000 MB per second, which should be enough. It's over the official Sony's requirement for SSDs anyway. The only reason I was doubtful about Sabrent's SSDs is because their SSDs are getting very hot when you're transferring a lot of data. And here is a short unboxing video showing that it is very boring to unbox SSDs, and the most exciting part of this unboxing is a small metal box that you can use to keep their ladybugs. So this is Sabrent 4 terabyte SSD itself. Now we need to take care of a possible heat. Sony strongly recommends to get a heatsink installed, and I got a bunch of them to take care of that. Heatsink is basically a small piece of aluminum radiator that cools down your SSD when it gets too hot. The good news, they are pretty cheap, just under 20 bucks. After some tests I picked this one as it fits the slot and you can close the lid on top of it, so yeah, this is the best solution for me. Alright, and the only thing that I need to do right now is take this bad boy and install it in my PS5. And my PS5 is, well, supposed to be there, but I mean in a perfect world. The installation process itself is pretty simple, and the most complicated part for me is to pull out my PS5 from behind my TV, because I keep it there. It's been there and probably it will continue sitting behind my TV. This thing is just humongous. I don't want to have anything so huge anywhere around, no matter how nice the curves of that shape look like. Yeah, it is way too big. I really tried to fit it somewhere but desperately failed. So it's there behind my TV, and I think this is the best place for a game console by a huge stretch. At least for me. Well, yeah, it wasn't too hard as well though. To install the SSD you need to pull down the side panel and it pops out simply, no need to apply any force. Then you open another metal panel underneath, you'll need a screwdriver here, and that's it. Don't forget to install a heatsink, put the metal panel back, and here we go. Then you turn on your console and it should detect your SSD and suggest you to format it. This is how it looks in the settings after a while. And now I need just to transfer all my games from my internal SSD to the external M2 SSD. By the way, I want to remind you to not even think of ignoring a heatsink if you don't want to burn your SSD over time. Here is a short video just to illustrate you how hot it can be. Before you start watching it, keep in mind that usually PS5 is dead silent because it's very efficient with handling temperature. Wow. The sound is coming from my PS5 while I'm transferring about 500 gigabytes of games from one SSD to another, with a heatsink installed by the way. It's crazy loud. But it stopped running fans as soon as I got my files transferred, and it has never appeared since then, even during some heavy gaming. Another day, another story, and another part of this crazy experiment. I have here in my hand Sabrent 8TB external SSD, and I'm going to plug it into my PS5 right now just to see will it handle so much storage space or not. So 12TB PS5 monster console it is. So I connected it there, and it's connected to my PS5 right now to the USB-C port, and just lay down here. And yeah, just between me and you and me, I understand it's a pretty dumb idea. I'm not going to use the whole 12TB thing. I just bought 4TB for my video game console because I can, and because I think that keeping there my games makes sense for me. But for most people it does make sense because 8TB is crazy expensive, so I'm going to pull it out from there and use it for another purpose. But for now, 12TB PS5 console, so well, whatever. Let's go. So after you start your console, you should go to the settings, then storage, and pick the external drive. PS5 will offer to format it, and you're good to go. So after formatting, I got around 7.35TB, which is a bit less than I planned, but more than enough for everything. So as a result, we got 667GB of the main PS5 storage, 4TB and 10GB of M2 internal SSDs that we installed in the beginning of this video, and 7TB and 350GB of an external SSD, which in total is around 12TB of storage space. Being completely fair, I need to say that 7TB of the external SSD can store only PS4 games, so keep that in mind. But who cares, especially considering we still don't have too many original PS5 games, right? So this is it, the video is done, no more footage, I don't have anything to share. If you like it or dislike it, consider pressing something down below just right there. You choose, because you're an adult person, you choose your destiny, this is a part of it. And I think we'll see each other next time.